Hey beauties, welcome to the Clean Beauty Podcast. Did you know that unlike most everything else in America, cosmetics are not regulated? This means that corporations can use thousands of potentially harmful ingredients that I personally know can cause health problems. I'm your host, Cassandra McClure. I've been in the beauty business for over 10 years as a celebrity makeup artist that advocates for safer and more sustainable cosmetics. Join me each week for important news, exclusive interviews, and more on the Clean Beauty Revolution. This is part 2 of a 2-part series. Please download the prior episode before continuing this podcast. Enjoy.
Let's say today I lift up a 5 kg, like I can feel that it's not pain, it's not a sharp pain, but it's a good pain. It's a building up the muscle kind of pain. So yeah, there's a lot of different with drink smoothie. And of course, in my 40s that I can definitely feel this, like in the morning, if I eat those American breakfast with hash brown, fries, and all that, like I will tend to not able to focus and not able to be sharp, not able to think, the whole day. Like I will be easily get tired and I want to have a nap, all those things. But ever since I drink smoothie every single morning, of course, I can have a cheat day like once a week on a Sunday or Saturday, but almost every other day I will drink smoothie and it will give me more fresh. And I can sustain for the whole day even without the coffee. I don't need so much caffeine in my body to keep me avoiding napping, all those things.
Wow. So yeah, that was what I was thinking when you said smoothie and relieving yourself. I'm like, okay, well, I just drink coffee and like that works for me every day. And I feel like that gives me that boost. So what is it that's in your smoothies that's so amazing?
I think there's one thing that is also very good is the chia seed. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one thing that I put in every single day. So that is like it's a fish oil, but it's in a seed. So it's a lot of omega-3, those kind of thing that will help, especially if I have injury. Like the muscles can get pain very easily or stiff very easily. Definitely you go to any doctor, if they if you mention about this, they will suggest you fish oil kind of thing. So in my smoothie I didn't put a fish oil because like I don't know, like I never tried that. And I tried to put hemp seed and also chia seeds, which is a lot of omega-3, and it's very easy to digest and our stomach is very soft and smooth. So um, yeah, this will sustain my muscle to have like more flexible and more. Of course, I need to mix with yoga as well. I do a lot of bikram yoga, so I need a lot of hydration as well. So then again, that smoothie, it will help both to muscle and also to hydrate my body and to make me more flexible. I need in my job, like I need to travel, I need to running around, I need to squat, I need to do a lot of things and physically. So definitely to maintain my muscle, it will definitely very important for me and my career. Yeah, so
That's great.
yeah.
And so for the listeners that don't know, that are listening in places that maybe don't have access to a yoga studio, what is Bikram yoga?
Okay, so Bikram yoga is a hot so in the room it will be like 100-degree kind of a temperature, and you will need to be inside like about 1.5 hours. There is some classes available for 1 hour, but most of classes are for 1.5 hours, and you will do repetitions poses every time you go Bikram. There will not be any new pose or surprising pose, but then it will always be a same thing that will challenge you to achieve the maximum let's say in that pose, the maximum it will be your face touching your knee. At first, maybe your face not able to touch your knee, but then every single time you go to the bikram with every single same poses, and in that 100-degree heated room, slowly but surely you will be able to touch your knee. So then it will be there's a so those poses are really good for back pain, for lower back pain, and for and a lot of time lower back pain is caused by the stiffness of your leg, which if you do a stretch, if you stretch it immediately when your leg is really stiff and it's really the muscle is really not flexible, and you forced it to stretch it, it will be even more injured. So Bikram will help you to first of all, the heated room will help your muscle to relax a little bit more, and then it will make your whatever your pose that you're doing, it will get improved every single time you go bikram. And so then that's how you improve your flexibility as well. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I was working in Seattle. The last time I went back, I went with one of the artists on the team up in Washington, Serena, and she took me. And you definitely don't want to wear makeup to those because you sweat it all off. You're in a really hot room. So I learned that very quickly. But it was very, for me, I know a lot of people don't really, it's not their cup of tea, but I actually really loved it. It was different, and I did like the heat, and I liked being pushed to like a limit, because I feel like yoga is one of those things that's like, okay, let's go stretch and like do some crazy poses and like, downward dog, whatever. But I felt like that was my kind of workout where I actually felt like maybe I lost a couple pounds of sweat too. Like it was kind of, it was very instant gratification type thing, and I like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
And
great.
yeah, and it's definitely helps if you start as early as possible. Like don't wait until you get injured like myself, then it will be even harder. Like it will take years for recover, and not even fully recover. So the best is just start as early as possible.
Yes, that's what I tell all my clients when they're so overwhelmed with like all of the products that they're using. And I'm like, just start with one thing. When your shampoo's out, go switch it out to clean. So let's talk about the implementation. So when you had this breakdown and you're like, oh my God, I have to restructure. I'm going on this, path of self-discovery. What did you implement first? And when you, let's say the Chinese medicine, like I want to ask you about that. Was it beneficial? Did you see results? Are you still going? Are you getting acupuncture in the Chinese space? Is it herbs? Are you drinking the teas, or are you still doing something like that? Or was it just something that you tried and you found like yoga and working out to be your kind of thing?
Yeah. So actually, that time, the reason I do a lot of things is because like all these things, like for example Chinese medicine, massages, acupuncture, or yoga, all these things is not the result that you will be able to see right away in 5 minutes or in one day. It's like something that you probably will only be able to see, especially after you get injured, maybe you will only be able to see like every after 1 year. So the result is really very slow and almost none, actually, nothing that I can see. That's probably make my it's really like make me very depressed as well. Like I really need something fast, and I'm very impatient with that. Um, but then I will just need to keep doing it. So the only thing that I keep doing at that time is swimming, because I mean, you go to massages, it's not cheap as well. You go to acupuncture, this kind of thing is like, it's really a huge money for you to go twice a week, or all those things. So there's certain limit that I can go for those kind of things, but swimming I do every single day, and that helps. But then again, all those things I can only see after a year, basically, especially after that injury. For the Chinese massage, I can feel right away it feel relaxed, but then again, it's only for like 2 days, and then after 2 days you will feel the pain is back. um, Acupuncture is the same. It's probably after that session I feel better for a while, but after 2 3 days I will feel the pain again, and I will feel the need to come back. I mean, all those things are actually good and beneficial, but it's just that I need to go there consistently, like every, really like keep coming back, all those things. So there's nothing that I can commit for a year, only except for swimming at that time.
So, how do you manage a commitment to going swimming every day? I mean, I dream of that. So, how do you manage that? Is it a like a YMCA or a JCC? Like, what do you go to a certain gym, like Equinox, or how do you
Yeah.
do that?
Well, back in Singapore, we have a public swimming pool that costs only $1. That I can just go down and go, especially if I go on the weekdays where people are working. So it will be have like lesser people on those days. So I will try to avoid on the weekend. And there's something about swimming and exercise like running or those cardio type of exercise. There's something that is like quite addictive with these things. I mean, to start it was really really hard. The second time start it was really hard as well, until like the probably the fifth times, like my body start feeling I need this, if not there's something wrong with me, kind of thing. Like it's addiction. It can become addiction. So same with running. Actually, the first time I start run, it was really really hard, like dragging my feet. But the third times I start, and like there's something in my mental, like okay, tomorrow I will like running at this time. It's become like not something that I have to, but it has become a habit that just drink water. So it's like and I have the timing. How long do I want, like just 10 laps, or for running is like for 3 miles at least every single day, all those things. So I have those measurement that I can just go and quickly come back without wasting any time to exploring basically. Yeah.
Okay, so you did swim in Singapore. You don't swim now every day. You're just saying that that's
Yeah.
something that you would like to do, but you do other exercises and you find other things like Bikram yoga to fill in those gaps because you want to stay active, and you know that you have to stay active, eat right. You kind of have to do all the things, right? People just want to be healthy by taking this shake or doing this diet or
Yeah.
going, on this certain workout, but it's everything, right? It sounds like there's no secret. It's really about treating yourself right, like you said, self-love. And I think that is something that in this day and age, it is true. We all want that instant gratification. Like I was just out of sponges yesterday and I was like, Amazon, Alexa, hopefully she doesn't do it right now. She'll, I just order it and it's like, okay, I didn't even have to go to the store. Everything happens when I want it to. It's so fast. If I want something, I order it. If I need something, if I decide I want a pizza, I get it. But like, we all want a nice body. We all want to feel healthy. We all want to none of us want to feel depressed. And I feel like that's part of how we sort of connected. I felt like I was in a very depressed mode, and actually, for me, it was really about staying organized. I felt like I had a million things to do, and I still say that sometimes, and I have to stop myself because it's not, yes, you have a lot of things to do, but you have to break them down and you have to time block and you have to do one thing at a time to get somewhere. Because if you just think about all the things you have to do all the time, like nothing ever gets done, or you'll start. And I used to be a scatterbrain. I used to think like, I was good at like multitasking. And it's like, well, that's not actually proven to be beneficial. Like if you don't sit down and do each thing step by step, and now I'm addicted to crossing things off lists, right? So it's very similar. It's like, yes, there's so many great things out there, but it's not a one size fits all, and there's not one thing that fits it all, fixes everything. And I think that's really important to understand. Like Brittany, who will be on the show later, she's an amazing, she's in Chinese medicine and she's so amazing. And she, I've done the acupuncture with her, and I've gone to my chiropractor and I've done all of the things. But you're right. It's a very small, fix of a little time window that you get of like 1 or 2 or 3 days, with massage or anything. It's kind of like a facial. Like, yeah, your face is glowing the first day, but as soon as you go put crap back on it, it's going to not be so glowy anymore. And so I think that for all the listeners out there who struggle with one or all of these issues, it's really about implementing things into your life long term and not giving up on your body or your weight or your health or any of those things, and changing things as you can gradually as you're comfortable, but also pushing your limits sometimes too to get out of that comfort zone, because we never have gotten anywhere, being comfortable. It's kind of always about pushing ourselves. So as entrepreneurs, I think that we have that extra drive to kind of like make it happen, because if there's no us, there's no business, right? So we have to make sure we're healthy. We have to make sure that we are staying organized. We have to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves to a certain extent, or else an injury will happen, or depression, or a bad series of events, right? So that's awesome. I love all of this. So when it comes to your headaches and back pain, just to touch on that real quick, was there something that was causing the headache, or was it just like unhealthy eating like altogether, or was it just the exhaustion of like all of the work you were doing and like not taking any time to like relax? Because I feel like that's a huge part of it too, is like sitting down or turning your phone off and like spending 3 hours by yourself and like doing a meditation or something like that.
Yeah, I think it will. I must say it's a combination of all things, but mainly is because of. I think I was really getting really stressed because of my body and my pain in my body. Regarding the job that I do, even though it's like behind a laptop or behind a computer, it's something that I love to do actually. So if not because of my body alerting me that to wake up and walk, I mean you have to stretch and all that, I will just keep sitting down for many hours, forget about day and night because how I love doing that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that probably the headache is because like I become really stressful at that time. It's because the pain has become not only come at one time, but it's just consistently, especially at the nighttime. And at that time, like I was really stressed because like, is it really only normal pain, or is it like do I have something serious? Like so I go and check up and my body check up and everything. So I have a lot of things that I think I must say is like getting really impatient with my pain to be over soon. Probably that's how my headache come in at the time, and also yeah, the past on unhealthy eating and the way I sit, the posture and everything probably will add up everything into the headache as well and into my back pain. And I think I heard from somebody like actually for your body to move. I mean, you need to move your body like at least the better way is 150 minutes for 1 week. So I think. So then I starting from there, I set my alarm, every single minutes to, maybe to stretch or walk around a little bit, all those things to, or if I cannot jog for 1 hour, at least I do some breathing probably with yoga posture and everything. Yeah, which is true, like what you said. I mean, if this kind of thing, like Chinese medicine, I mean, it is something that need to be consistent, but once you're not give up, actually the effect is really long last. Whatever stretch that you have done in the yoga or whatever exercise that you have done, you may not see it now, but then 1 year later or 2 years later, especially you get older, I mean you can compare yourself with your friends on your age. How come like you're more active, like as in you different, like other people like getting big belly, or those like that is hard to that's harder compared to you who actively been exercising or been yoga for the past few years. It's the effects, or even massage is also one thing that as you get older, like like the muscles is getting more and more stiffer. And but if you have a consistent massage habit, you will see years later. I mean, especially you get older, it's like you get more your muscle more relaxed, all those kind of things. And yeah, I mean, and what you said is true, is not giving up is one of the things that is really important. Especially, I mean, back in Singapore, I know I live in a tropical weather where there's no cold weather like here, so I can swim almost every single day. It's not a problem. But how if I traveling, or how if I move to the States where the weather is not enable me to swim again every day? But then if you have this 150 minutes for a week to discipline yourself to move, at least you can always do all sorts kind of things that you can find, even though it's in the midst of traveling, like you are not in the gym membership or yoga membership in another country. But you can always do yoga poses with your abs. You can also do running almost in every single season. You just need to wear the correct t-shirt, running pants on, and shoes, and that's it. You can keep yourself active, basically. And as long as I do that often, like nowadays, like the headache has become lesser. Of course, like I think I must say headache is really connected more to my inside health more than the outside. Like if I stress, so then it will link to my headache more than the outside, like the physical, like the lower back pain and everything. So yeah, so probably that's about it.
Yeah, I when you were talking about stopping and setting a timer, it was a trigger for me. I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, like I set them to stretch on my phone, like it automatically it says time to breathe, right? And I actually have an app on my phone now called Headspace, and it is a meditation app. And I was always growing up thinking, "Oh, meditation is like some weird thing, and I can never meditate." I tried it once and I was like, but it's actually a really great app. It's like stop, breathe, like let's just let things go. And it's something that you don't really think about. You don't think about like your brain stopping and it just like going through a 5-minute or 3-minute exercise. Like it really does clear your headspace. And so something like that, I feel like, tech can get so in the way, our for phones and technology.
Yeah.
It can be so distracting, but at the same time, if we utilize certain apps on there, like you use one for working out or to remind you, you set your alarm. I've been to a couple different conferences where they had us set an alarm to tell ourselves, gratifying things, whatever we needed to hear. Or certain things like, yeah, it's just like there's certain things that we all need to do to kind of reset and remind ourselves, and even with goals as well, like setting a goal and reminding yourself once a day, like I'm going to make X amount next week or next year. And, it'll remind you to stay on the path of what your goal is. But I love that. And I've always had guilt for working out. You set time to like actually stop, but I'll go and I'll work into the night, like you were saying, and I'll be like, oh, didn't get to go outside today, but I'm doing myself a disservice at the end of the day. You really aren't winning just because you're working that hard. You're losing in the long run because you're not taking that time. And it's something that I still struggle with, and I'm sure you can speak to that as well. Like sometimes we feel like we have to do it all and we're on a roll and we don't want to stop and we want to keep going. But I feel like as entrepreneurs, like that, it's like a great strength, but also a great weakness, because if we keep going and we don't stop, like we can burn ourselves out, we can run ourselves dry, and it can give us, long-term health problem. And it's just, and that's what really leads to depression at the end of the day. I think headaches are like, it's our bodies telling us something. It's like we're being too hard on ourselves, whether it's on our bodies, sitting for long periods of time in a certain position. I totally agree. I also struggle with my posture. Like I have to remind myself, or I sit with a mirror to my right now at my desk. Like I have it there. I have it here right now. And if I happen to look over at myself and I see myself slouching, I'll have to stretch. I'll, pull my muscles. I'll like pull my arms. And it's something that you, as an entrepreneur, it's like, that's just how it is. And you kind of have to push yourself. But it's great to have a team. It's great to have an acupuncturist that you go to. It's great to get out of the house and like go see a personal trainer, or go to the gym, or go to your local, community center and do things, or go with a workout buddy. I find that when I like partner up with somebody, it's like amazing. Like I'm like, oh, let's go running tomorrow at 12. It's like, I'm not going to bail on them. So you kind of have like a structure set in place where it's like, you're not going to cancel on your friend's lunch. It's like getting out of the house. So that's why co-working is so great in our environment as well. Like co-working or going out, getting a drink, going over some work stuff, like, and setting a date and a time is way better than like, oh yeah, I'll work out tomorrow. And then you never, ever, 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 ever do it. So I love that. I love everything that you went over. I love how we spoke about mental health, physical health, what you've done in your journey to self-discovery. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I know that you have your Dreampreneurs Instagram, Dreampreneurs chat, and you have your podcast. But I know you were talking about a film production. What upcoming things do you have coming up? Do you have anything notable worth mentioning?
Right now, actually, like the one thing that I focus on is Dreampreneurs Chat podcast. So it's available to be heard in iTunes and all major other podcast platform, and also in the YouTube. Hoping that I could make a documentary feature film from here, where I can collect the story from different kind of entrepreneurs. Because as entrepreneur myself and as a woman myself, I know the struggle of how all women to be excel in their dreams, like chasing their dreams and taking the risks, and all those are not easy. But then when we heard each other's story, and when we allow ourselves to tell stories, and so that we also give other permission to tell theirs as well. And that's, I believe our stories will encourage each other and also heal each other. So that's probably one of the major project right now. And the upcoming, there's one film that I have in mind right now, but still in the midst of a process of writing, and so not into the production yet. But I will keep you in touch. If there is anything happen, just follow my Instagram at Lydia Isnanto for upcoming project. And yeah, I hope you guys can come and cheer me on and support me as well.
That's great. So through the podcast, you plan on creating a documentary?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, for all the listeners who want to hear my talk with Lydia on her Dreampreneurs chat, you can find that on YouTube. I don't know what episode it was. It was an early episode.
So 3, yes, I think.
Oh, it was number 3. But she came to my home business. Like I have like a little studio in my home in Palo Alto, and she came in and filmed in front of my vanity, my big like makeup station. And we had an interview there in like super amazing quality video, like HD video. It looks like a real movie set. It was amazing. She like set up all these lights and cameras and recorders, video cameras, and we had mics, and it was amazing. It was one of the biggest interviews I've had in a long time. And Obogale, my little puppy, made an appearance as well. And we did some amazing videography. And now my piece is the intro into all the Dreampreneurs chat. It's like the intro, like the video part is like the intro. I'm in that. And so I thought that was really, really cool. She captured me working at my desk and just like we just chatted about all things life and business. So it was really, really great. So thank you again, Lydia, for coming on. I'm so glad we got to dive into your life and get to know about you a little bit. You do so much interviewing with everyone else. It's nice to actually talk to a host of another podcast show. And you're usually behind the camera and behind the lens. You're always kind of working in the back of things, and that's what I feel for you, because that's, that was my job for so many years, and it still is. We kind of blend into the wallpaper while everyone else is the star of the show. So it's nice to kind of do something for ourselves, right? So this is a nice way to do that. So thank you again, and we'll be on the lookout for your things, and I'll definitely link Dreampreneurs Chat in the show notes and anything else that we might have missed. And
all right, so that's it for this week's episode on the Clean Beauty Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to head over to iTunes to review, rate, and subscribe to the channel. Until next week, stay beautiful.